Coming home from war wasn't as easy as it sounded, or as easy as they believed it would be. Making the transition home was a slow process.
I went to Florida and hid, literally. I wouldn't come back here. I went to Florida. I had braces on my legs. I weighed probably 145 pounds. I had a banjo thing that hooked to my arm, pulled my fingers back because my hand grew up like this. My ear was sewed to my head. I had a lot of stomach problems because my stomach was blown out. And, you kind of hid. You didn't tell anybody where you'd been. If you applied for a job, if they asked military service, if you could answer yes or no, that's all you answered. You didn't elaborate because people wouldn't hire you because you've been in Vietnam.
But when we got off, demonstrators were demonstrating the Vietnam War, and they were across the fence there, and they were, I believe if we had our weapons, we'd have probably opened them up on them. But I did get down, we all got down, as soon as we got off the plane and kissed the ground and the concrete, said we'd never leave the country again.
When I came back, I had to stop in Dover, where I had to cross either 4 or 6 lanes of traffic. I'm in uniform, I've got my luggage, I'm waiting. All of a sudden, the cars start to stop. And then all of a sudden, 6 lanes of traffic stop completely for me to cross. You're very thankful, but you're also kind of, it's a little embarrassing. But at that time, that's the most support I've ever seen from our country for the military. And I wish the Vietnam vets could see these things and realize that from what they went through, that's our benefit. They did that for us.
They suffered.
Yeah. And they didn't get it, and the American public tried to correct it with us, I think.
Every time I've left Iraq, every time I've left, I leave Afghanistan, I had the mindset that I was coming home and things were going to be perfect. And I was going to love it. And my wife was going to meet me in a field of wheat running towards me. And it doesn't happen. You realize that the entire time that you've been gone, she's been mommy and daddy. If you're lucky, you do.
For a month long, you're sleeping in a dirt hole. Monday, you wake up from that dirt hole and you're on live patrols. Wednesday, you can wake up in your home in Jacksonville, North Carolina. That is a shock to anybody's head.
Everything over there was beige. As far as you could see, it was beige. And so the explosion of color, because we came home in the spring, and I went up to the flight deck when we came across West Virginia, and I will never forget the sight of those West Virginia hills again for the first time. It was just, I'm just snapping pictures, and I was in number 8 of 8. So I have pictures of the first 7 over the West Virginia hills. And I turned around. Of course, a few of us had crowded up on deck to see home for the first time. And I turned around, and there were 2 guys standing there brushing their teeth. I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, we have not kissed our wives in 8 months. Do you think we're kissing them with this breath? I don't think so. We're brushing our teeth. It was so adorable.
What really saved me was after that, when I started working up on the river as a whitewater guide. And just, being on the river and camping every weekend, basically. I tell everybody that's what saved me from that first tour. Because you just get up there in the woods and on the river, and it's just peaceful. And it let me get out of that war mode and back into a living mode.
I have always attributed my conversion to the fact that as a recipient of the Medal of Honor, I was forced by the public. And now I am a public figure, and I didn't want to be, but I was, simply because I had the Medal of Honor, and I was forced to talk about my experience. So it was a therapy to me, a kind of a rehabilitation type thing to me, because, I had all kinds of nightmares and those things that go with that, but since I was forced to talk about it, I didn't hold it in. I let it out.
When we went to meet at the Clarksburg VA about the Veterans Treatment Court, we were told that the minimum amount of time for somebody coming in to receive PTSD treatment is normally 6 months. And that's the minimum to get in to receive treatment. I just think it's really sad on one hand that we can't provide better. I just think that there needs to really be more recognition for that. I don't know that the general public has an understanding of that. You know, they think, well, this guy's... My teacher actually said this in class last Monday. He was like, well, you've been to Iraq, and you don't seem crazy to me.